Another part on the Akedah, or this is the first one that you're listening to, a first part on the Akedah. Tzvam tell us that, of course, Avraham Avinu, actually it ties into the last part. But Simcha Rabbah, Avraham Avinu went ahead to do the Akedah with great happiness. Although he was sad that he's going to no longer have his son anymore, a special son that he waited so many years for. But that was Hashem's will. So he did, just like he did every other mitzvah. He did matzah. He ate the matzah with the kishmak. He sat in the sukkah with the kishmak. So he did that Akedah with greater happiness in order to give over his son for Hashem. But there was a little bit of a problem. We know the famous Chazal, and it's actually going to come up in a few weeks, that some people, the Litzarei Hador, the scoffers, had a problem, and they said, let's do the math. Avraham Avinu was married to Sarah for so many years, and she never became pregnant. She was with Avimelech, and all of a sudden she became pregnant. So we did the math. So people said, so it must be May Avimelech Nizar Sarah. That it wasn't Avraham Avinu. It was the what? Just pumped her one night, and then all of a sudden she becomes pregnant? So there were people that would say such terrible things. Now this could be another problem. Because you know why Avraham Avinu went ahead and he did the Akedah? Because it wasn't his son. What did he care to get rid of Avimelech's son? It's not his son. So although Avraham Avinu was excited to do the mitzvah, but it wasn't fully, because he was afraid that these same Mishagayim, let's call them what they were, Rishayim, would use that Akedah as a raya against this idea, and use it as a proof that Yitzhak wasn't his son, because otherwise, how can he go ahead and sacrifice his own son? Therefore, Yitzchak asked him, it says in the Torah that he says Avi a few times. No, you are my father. Yitzchak was also part of this. Yitzchak wanted to prove to everybody else also, and to him, no, you are my father. How could you do this? Okay? Well, yes, Avi, I and you both know that you are my father. But how could you do this if this is going to bring a raya to the terrible things? So Hashem tells him, Hineni b'ni. No. Watch this. This thing itself is a raya that you are my son. Because Elokim yireh lo aseh lo lo b'ni. Hashem decided that you would be the korban. Okay? Shvi, there's a halacha that you cannot bring a korban if it's possible. What's an example of a korban that's possible? Shvi, kachim, the brisk.
Broken foot.
Broken foot. It has some blemishes. Not all blemishes possible the korban, but the blemishes that possible a korban. If you bring a korban that was no good, would it be a kosher korban? It would be no good. So it says from Avinu to answer Yitzchak, Hineni b'ni. No, son. The fact that Hashem chose you, it's a raya that you're all kosher. Because if you would be puzzled, then you wouldn't be good for a korban. Beautiful pshat, Tzvi. Why make your face like you don't cop it? Beautiful pshat. Hineni b'ni. If I can't, you're all my son. The fact that Hashem chose you, it's a raya. May I have this Sarah. He's talking about himself in third person. Not may Avimelech this Sarah. Because if it came from Avimelech, then he'd be puzzled. He'd be a mamzer. He'd be he wouldn't be a kosher person. So maybe Hashem wouldn't tell him to bring a person Malachim Korban. Because then it would be a puzzle. So if I can't, the fact that Hashem chose you is a raya that you came from me, that you are my son. Hineni b'ni, you're my son. And you're not from the Israel Shesish, and therefore you would be kosher for a korban. So now you know the Aushach Battalion dialogue, what's going on over here. Beautiful pshat I saw to explain what's happening over here. A good Shabbos.